everybody. I know that there's going to be a karate demonstration. Did I hear that right?
Self-defense.
Maybe there'll be some kicking involved. Just a brief update. Good things are happening in Woodhaven. If you live on the other side of Woodhaven Boulevard, from I think around up to 110th Street, there's been a repaving to Jamaica Avenue. It looks great, and they're going to continue. It was overdue. Just Thursday, I was at PS 97, and I was able to see their brand new auditorium. They received funding from a grant that came from our office, City Council office. And, oh, it looks like a whole new room. Yeah, they painted it, they put in new chairs, and they resurfaced the floor. And soon we're going to have a ribbon cutting on the tennis courts in Forest Park, because they're ready, they're finished. And that was part of last year's fiscal funding. And I'm hoping to do more this year with Forest Park, so if there's any ideas of areas of where you'd like funding to go, please let our office know, because the budget is only a few weeks away. We are focusing on the library. I know that a lot of folks want the library in Woodhaven to have some renovations. And I think that, you know, I'm going to work with Eric Overs to get those monies. Library renovations are very expensive, but Woodhaven is long overdue for an elevator and some refinishing to the lower level, which would open up room on the main level. And it is a Carnegie Library, and one of the most beautiful in the city of New York, and we really need to invest funds to preserve the integrity of the building.
Yes, I don't know if anybody heard this, but the concessionaire that was running the Forest Park Carousel, the Central Park Carousel, and the Flushing Carousel, in addition to keeping them all filthy dirty, not even investing one penny in them in their operation, stole over $400,000 from the Parks Department.
It was in the paper today.
That's right. What a disgrace. And we were talking about them forever because they were so lousy, and they're really trying to ruin our beautiful carousel.
Well, the good news is that they're no longer going to be running the carousel, and that the contract is going to be lumped together so that even though the Forest Park Carousel doesn't attract a lot of people when it's operational, we hope that the new business that comes in to run it will attract more people, but needless to say, as to whether more people come or not, it will be operational. It'll be the same contract, same concessionaire that with the one in Flushing Meadows. So they're grouped together, and just last week I had a conversation with the chair of the Landmarks Preservation Commission, Bob Tierney, and he said that once we get the new contractor in, then we're going to continue our talks about putting a landmark on the building, which is not the building, but the carousel, which is different because this agency mostly concentrates on buildings, but it would be a new thing that they haven't done before. They're considering it, and we're pushing it here because we know that the carousel is so dear to Woodhaven and so much part of our history.
Could we get back any of that $400,000 that they were supposed to reinvest in the carousel all that time?
I'm sure there's a way. We just have to be persistent about it. And hopefully by the time we have next month's meeting, we'll have more of an update on that. That's breaking news, really. We just found about it today in the paper. And it's really a shame. However, I don't want to take too much more of your time. The City Council has a $65 billion budget. We're not going to pass that budget till the end of May. We had a series of budget hearings, and the mayor has threatened serious cuts. He's threatening to lay off almost 6,000 teachers. He's threatening to close 20 fire companies. He's threatening to cut funding for libraries by 30%. This is nothing new. He seems to do these threats every year. His opinion ratings are quite low. I think if he was to go through with those types of draconian cuts, I don't think one person in the city would like him to continue being mayor. However, we're happy with his recent appointment to the new chancellor, Dennis Walcott. He'll do a great job. He's from Queens. He should have been appointed 3 months ago when the vacancy happened. And that's how I feel anyway. I think that Kathy Black was a mistake from the beginning. The mayor realized that, so let's hope he continues on this path of making up for bad choices and not choose to lay off teachers or close firehouses or to shutter any libraries, because that's what would happen if we cut funding to libraries by 30%. Those are all essential services. I'm going to continue to fight for our essential services. We have a budget from the mayor, which is called the executive budget, that will come out May 5th. We've been discussing for the past couple of weeks the preliminary budget, and we're hoping that this weekend, as everyone sends in their taxes, that there'll be better news with revenue in the city. Last year we projected our budget would have been $2 billion, even less than it is today. So there is indication that we're pulling ourselves out of the bad economy and that there is more tax revenue. Hopefully it continues that way. And I'm going to keep my fingers crossed for the May 5th budget, but I'll be back after that budget is released to talk to you about that as well. So hope everybody has a very nice holiday. Happy Passover, happy Easter. And you can always get in touch with my office if you have any concerns about any issues. Does anybody have a question? You're not opening any questions.
No.
Okay, thank you.